Minnesotan. So today, for our comparison video, we're going to do the Corona saw. This is the 10-inch model. And we're going to compare that against the Silky saw, Gone Boy. This is their smallest version. Both have large teeth. And both have a pretty good reputation. Obviously this has a bigger handle, smaller handle. But we'll just see what it looks like on this big piece of oak here. So maybe a little bit impractical of an example, a little bit big, but you should see a difference in the time. So let's see, I think I'll just go right through here. Feel it's a hard frozen piece of wood. All right, there we go. Solid through, solid piece of oak. So the saw did pretty well. It got a little bit filled up because it's 4 below right now. It's windy. And I'm on the top of a big hill. That wood was just a little bit damp. Now let's try it with this little PocketBoy. This thing can barely span the log. Right. So I don't know if that was faster or the same time. I'll have to go back and look at the footage. But I'll tell you what, having that little extra length is nice on the handle. But the teeth on this certainly seem like they do better. And that's look how big that piece of wood is in comparison. So the Corona saw, which I think highly of, pretty big, and this saw is a little bit used, I'll be honest. Had it for a while, but still with that length, there didn't seem to be that much of an advantage overall. The Silky saw really ripped into it pretty well, and I went second with the smaller saw. So this really had every advantage. I went first, it's a little bit bigger, it might be a little bit more dull, but ultimately, I think this might have done better. And that little handle didn't bother me too much. So it's pretty good. So when you get your Corona saw, it's just gonna come in kind of a clam pack thing, whatever, I don't care. It definitely came really sharp. It's a pretty lightweight saw overall. I guess it could be a little lighter, but it seems strong. The lockup seems pretty strong. That 10-inch blade, and here's the Silky saw, by the way. Silky saw comes in a case, which, you know what? I'm not gonna carry the case anymore. I don't care about the case. It just seems unnecessary. This has 2 locking positions. Both are very strong. It seems metal on metal, which this might be kind of a plastic capture with a pin, a metal pin of some sort. Either way, yeah, it seems like a pretty durable, rugged build kind of deal. The steel flexiness, it seems a little bit thin, which is fine. That's kind of what I wanted it for. I didn't want a big thick saw necessarily. So size closed, here's that comparison. Here's your closed size comparison. Obviously this sinks into a pocket. This can be fit into a pocket, it just hangs out a little bit. Yeah, there's a difference. This kind of has to be manually deployed. So the saw in total is about the size of the handle when it's open. I'm not in a situation right now, but I know you've probably been in a situation before where you're trying to cut some wood. Maybe it's just something like this. This is just about 1.5 inches. something thin. So I did something kind of thick for these saws, and now I'm going to try something kind of thin. And occasionally you just can't find a good spot. And so if you do the knee method, kind of like this, where you hang it over your leg and then you saw into it. And so I'm just going to try that real quick. So obviously super controllable, easy to wield with the Silky saw. It's small. And with the bigger saw, didn't feel quite as controllable, I would say, but I think the speed was probably similar. So on the quick things, for me, if I'm looking at size, weight, how much room I'm taking up in my pack and stuff like that, I kind of feel more comfortable taking this one. This is not a bad saw by any means, and I plan on holding onto it for sure. But if I go on a backpacking trip and maybe my buddy doesn't have one, you know, maybe I take them both, and you could take this one and I'm going to hold on to this. This is going to run you, I think it was about $24 on eBay. This is going to run you similarly, probably $22, so it's about $2 cheaper. You're getting more length in the saw. I would wager that the steel and the build quality is a little better in the Silky. And you get the case if you care about that. I don't. And this one, it has some advantages, but yeah, ultimately I think for me, this does better. When I pair this with my my Mora, this is a small package, you know. That's a not much weight. This is a super lightweight knife. This is a pretty lightweight saw. And even if I just wanted to go out and do some whittling or some messing around, I can put these together. Here's my Cold Steel Ultimate Hunter. That's really not a bad comparison. Just putting these two together. Low weight, high strength items, and they fit really small into you know, a little nook or something in my backpack. I don't have to take up a huge amount of space. It doesn't weigh a lot, and it does the things that I want it to do. It does the small craft things, and it's capable to do the bigger crafts things. So if you own a Silky saw or the Corona saw, and you have an opinion about those two, especially if you have the 10.5 inch or the 10.5 inch one, if you have an opinion about those two, go ahead and drop a comment down below. Like, share, subscribe, and if you have something that you think should be compared, especially review items that you've seen on my channel before, maybe in the background, and you want to see two things compared, drop a comment below about that too. Guns out, Minnesotan.